Alright, where we need to start today is with the unit circle that has all of the standard angles on it. You've got your degree measure, your radian measure, as well as your ordered pair. This was your homework. You need to check yours with mine, make sure yours is correct. And then we've got just a little bit of something else we've got to add to what we already know here. Okay, we know that our ordered pairs are always x comma y, because that's how far we go over, right or left from the origin, and then up. That's where the x and y come from. Well, where trig is concerned on a unit circle, your x value is your cosine, your y value is your sine. So in this ordered pair for 30 degrees, the cosine of 30 degrees is square root of 3 over 2. The sine is 1/2. Okay, so go ahead and check yours. Pause it if you need to. And now we're going to go back over the trick we learned, or that we talked briefly about, involving your left hand and trig values on your left hand. Okay. So what you've got is pictures of my hand. They're a little bit distorted because I took a picture of them with the document camera. And here's what you need to know about those. Okay? Always in the palm of your hand there is an imaginary 2. Your pinky is 0 degrees, your ring finger is 30, your middle finger 45, your pointer finger is 60, and your thumb is 90. Now, you can also do those in radian measures if you would like. This is 0 pi. This is pi over 6, pi over 4, pi over 3, and 90 is pi over 2. Okay? That way you can work in whichever mode you would prefer. So, the picture on the left, this is 0 degrees. I have folded that finger, and what we're going to do is we're going to count how many fingers are above that folded finger, and we're going to take the square root of that. Since there are 4 fingers above, that's going to be the square root of 4. Let's try again. Square root of 4 over the 2 that's in my palm. That will simplify to 2 over 2, which is 1. Then we also want to know how many fingers are underneath there. Well, there's not any, so that is 0 over the 2 that's in my palm. My ordered pair comes from these two. This was the first part, comma, the second part. And remember, 0 over 2 is just 0. So my ordered pair for 0 degrees is 1, comma, 0. And if we look back at our unit circle, here we go, 0 degrees, our ordered pair was 1, 0. And remember, we got all of that from, knowing the radius of a unit circle is 1, and these other values came from the special right triangles. But this is just a way to help you remember it. You don't have to memorize these, but it sometimes helps. So in this picture, this is 30 degrees. So above, there are 3. So that's square root of 3 over the 2 that is always in my palm, comma, and there is 1 below it, so that is the square root of 1 over 2, which is just 1/2. So my ordered pair for 30 degrees is square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. And remember, in my ordered pair, this is your cosine, this is your sine. Same thing happened up here for 0 degrees. Your cosine is 1, your sine of 0 degrees is 0. Okay, now we're still having a 2 here. We're at 45 degrees. There are 2 fingers above, so that is square root of 2 over 2, comma, and then I have square root of 2 over 2. So there's my ordered pair for 45 degrees. we're going to do this one first. That is your 60-degree angle. I have one finger above, so that is the square root of 1 over 2, which is just 1/2. There are 3 fingers below, so that's square root of 3 over 2. And that makes my ordered pair for 60 degrees 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. Your cosine is 1/2. Your sine is square root of 3 over 2. And now here is 90 degrees. There are 0 fingers above there, so that is 0 over 2, which is just 0. There are 4 fingers below, so that's the square root of 4 over 2, which is 2 over 2, which is 1. So my ordered pair for 90 degrees is 0, comma, 1. And that makes my cosine 0. The sine of 90 degrees is 1. So now we're going to take a look at tangent. Tangent is on the back of your hand, and there's nothing written here on the back of your hand. There's no imaginary numbers. Tangent is only going to be about the fingers, how many fingers you have above and below. Okay? Even when I flip my hand over, this is still 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90. Okay, so some of these pictures, my hand looks a little bit distorted, but it is what it is. Okay, so here I have folded 0 degrees, and there are no fingers above, and there are 4 fingers below. So the tangent of 0 degrees is equal to the square root of 0 over the square root of 4. All you do is take the number of fingers above, take the square root, and then you take the square root of the number of fingers below. So that gives me 0 over 2, which is just 0. The tangent of 0 degrees is 0. All right, next, this is 30 degrees. So I have the square root of 1 above, the square root of 3 below. So the tangent of 30 is the square root of 1 over the square root of 3, but you have to rationalize that. You cannot have a radical in the denominator. So multiply by root 3 over root 3, and you end up with the tangent of 30 degrees being the square root of 3 over 3. Next, for 45 degrees, you have 2 fingers above, so that's the square root of 2, and 2 below, square root of 2. So the tangent of 45 degrees is square root of 2 over the square root of 2, which is just 1. This is 60 degrees. So I have the square root of 3 over the square root of 1. So the tangent of 60 degrees, square root of 3 over the square root of 1, just gives me the square root of 3. And the last one. This one's a little hard to see, so let me zoom out and I'll put my hand up here. Okay, so for 90 degrees, fold it, flip it over. You have 4 fingers above, and you don't have any below. So here's that one. Okay, the square root of 4 over the square root of 0. So the tangent of 90 degrees is the square root of 4 over the square root of 0, which is 2 over 0. That is undefined. So now, in case you don't like the hand thing and finding the tangent this way, there is another way. Okay. tangent of any angle is equal to the sine of that angle over the cosine of that angle. All right, so if I were going to find the tangent of 30 degrees, well, we can go back to our unit circle. And here for 30 degrees, my sine is 1/2. The cosine is square root of 3 over 2. And now all we have to do is simplify it. So you have to remember this is really just 1/2 divided by square root of 3 over 2. Multiply by the reciprocal, or you can say keep, change, flip. So end up with 2 over 2 square root of 3. If you reduce this, 2 on top and 2 on the bottom, divide them both by 2, I end up with 1 over the square root of 3. And you have to rationalize that. So I'm going to multiply by root 3 over root 3, and I get root 3 over 3. So the tangent of 30 degrees using formulas rather than this trick is square root of 3 over 3. Okay, and that is the exact same answer we got up here at the top using this trick. Okay, so whichever way you prefer is fine. Okay, there will be one more video and it will just be some example practice problems, and then we'll get 13.8 the next time. So probably 2 more total to go.